Hello, hope you are fine and God has taken you through the day and through the night and that you are alive. Praise to Him and honor and glory to His name. Welcome to the discussion of the day, whereby I need us to talk about one thing which is found in Genesis chapter 10, Table of the Nations, which is found in Genesis chapter 10. About 4,600 years ago, the entire world was destroyed by the flood. Except Noah and his family, only 8 people were saved. That is Noah and his family. The flood took 40 days and 40 nights, and after 150 days, Noah's ark rested on Mount Ararat. After 2.5 more months, the tops of the mountains became visible, and 40 days later, Noah sent the dove and the raven to go and see whether the water has gone down. The dove returned, and 7 days later, Noah sent forth the dove once again, and this time it came with an olive leaf. Noah sent the raven. The raven didn't come back. He sent the dove, and the dove returned, and after 7 more days, he also sent the dove again, and the dove came with an olive leaf. After 7 more days, the dove was sent and didn't come back. Noah stayed in the ark for almost more than 1 year, and came out of it. And the first thing he did after he came out of the flood was to build an altar and made a sacrifice. Remember, even though Noah sent the raven, Noah sent the dove, and when the dove came with the olive leaf, Noah didn't went out of the ark immediately. He waited the command from the Lord, and when the Lord commanded him to go out of the ark, that is when he went out of the ark. And when he came out of the ark, the first thing he did is to build an altar. Even before he himself making a house for himself, he built an altar. God should be first in anything we do. Noah put God first in anything he does in his life. And also what he did, he offered a sacrifice. He took the cows which he offered as a sacrifice. Remember, there was very few animals at that time, but Noah didn't mind, but he took some of the animals and offered as a sacrifice, as a gratitude, as thanksgiving to God for what he has done and what he has saved. Thus, God was pleased with the sacrifice and made the covenant with Noah not to destroy the earth with the flood again. And the covenant was symbolized by the rainbow. The rainbow was a sign of the promise between God and Noah. For nearly 100 years, Noah's family increased in numbers and prospered. They soon migrated according to God's promise to be fruitful and feed the earth. Genesis 9 verse 1. All of mankind gathered in Persian Gulf, that is Babel, and followed Nimrod as a leader to build a tower reaching heaven, thus rebelling against God. God confused them by changing their language, and thus they stopped from building the Tower of Babel because their language was confused. And forcefully, he distributed them over the face of the earth, as we see from the book of Genesis 11 verse 1 to 9. Now, the sons of Noah, there were 3, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem was the first one, and we are told that Shem, this is where we get the nation of the Asian people. They came from the son of Noah known as Shem. He was the oldest son. Shem and his wife were childless after the flood. Shem bore a son at 110 years. And Sem's nation is known as the Semitic Nations. And the Semitic nation includes 4 sons which Shem had. Shem had 4 sons. And we are told that the Shem is the origin, is the founding father of the Asian countries. And we are told Shem was the father of nations of the ancient Near East, including the Israelites and the Jewish religion. From Shem, that's where we get the Israelites, and that's where we get the Jewish religion. Jewish religion, the Israelite religion, Judaism, Islam, and also Christianity all spring about from Shem, because Shem is the forefather of Abraham, and Abraham, we are told, is the father of the Jewish, is the father of the Christian, and is the father of the Islam too. So, as we have said, Shem had 4 sons. The first one was Elam. Elam is the father of the Persians, who stayed in the northeast of the Persian Gulf. And we have Ashur, the Assyrians, settled between the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers. We have Arphaxad, the Babylonians, settled in Charidi. And number 4, we have Lod, the Lydians, settled in the Asia Minor, but some sailed across Mediterranean and settled in the northern side of Africa. The Lod people, the Lydians, they settled in the Asia Minor, but some sailed across the Mediterranean Sea in the northern Africa. The last one was Aram, the Syrians, located north and the east of Israel. Number 2 was Ham. Ham, we are told Ham is the father of the African nations. Ham means hot or black, was the second oldest son of Noah. Ham had 4 sons, father of the nations of Africa. Number 1, we have Canaan. Ham's 4th son was cursed because Ham gazed at the nakedness of his father. Canaan, who was the son of Ham, was cursed because his father gazed at the nakedness of his father. That's why Canaan's land had to be taken by the Hebrew descendants of Shem. The Israelites, they are the one to come and take the land of the Canaanites, which belongs to Ham, because of the curse which he had from the father, from Noah. The Hamitic nation are the Cush. The first son of Ham was Cush. Cush is the father of the Ethiopians, settled in Ethiopia, south of Egypt. Also in their history, some of them migrated to an area north of the Persian Gulf. Genesis 10 verse 8 to 10. Number 2, we have Mizraim. Mizraim is the father of the Egyptians, settled in the northeastern of Africa. Number 3, we have Put, the father of the Libyans, settled in the north part of Africa. And number 4, we have the Canaan, the Canaanites, who settled above Africa, east of Mediterranean Sea, and later was given to Hebrews. His land was given to Hebrews. And then number 3 of the Noah sons was Japhet. Japhet is the father of the Europe nations. Japhet means God will enlarge. Was Noah's 3rd son. Both Japhet and Shem were blessed for respecting their father, because when Ham told them the nakedness of his father, they went and covered the nakedness of his father. The Japhetic nation include the Gomer, the Cimmerians. They settled north of Black Sea, but afterwards his descendants probably occupied German, Spain, France, and British isles. Number 2, we have Magog. The Scythians lived north of the Caspian Sea. And number 4, we have the Madai. The Medes settled south of the Caspian Sea. Number 4, we have Javan. The Rhonians, Greek, settled in the Greece parts of the nation. We have number 5, we have Tubal, the Turks, lived south of the Black Sea. And number 6, we have Meshech, the Salves, lived between the Black and the Caspian Sea. And lastly, we have the Titras, that is the Ethrusans, located west of the sea, west of the Black Sea. So those are the nations which are described in the book of Genesis chapter 10. Be blessed.